Hello, dear friends, viewers, movie fans. No, we are not going to lecture you about the evil of communism and its vibrant derivatives. In fact, we are not going to lecture you about anything at all, because this is not what we are here for. Our field of work is entertainment, so we are going to talk about movies. Welcome to Darkroom.film. This is what we do. Search the world for highly rated shows and movies that you have probably never heard of, but are well worth your attention, and bring them to our platform where you can enjoy those gems all in one place. I'll drop the link in the description. This time we will talk about the 2024 movie Libertate, or Freedom, from the brilliant director Tudor Gheorghiu. Even though the film refers to the events during Romanian Revolution that happened back in December of 1989 as a part of the anti-communism uprisings across Eastern Europe, it also is not going to lecture you about any ideological intricacies or share unneeded opinions. That's right, not something you would expect when a questionable political agenda shamelessly injected even into a movie about space wizardry. Instead, it does what art of cinema is supposed to. It takes you on an adventure, delivered by the means of outstanding filmmaking, spotless acting, smart screenwriting, and meticulous attention to details that allows the viewer to submerge into the flow of the story without any destructive idiocracy. Yes, exactly the opposite when compared to the majority of latest Hollywood endeavors. But if you are not new to the American film industry and remember when Hollywood produced masterpieces, one movie that comes to mind when you watch Freedom is Children of Man with Clyde Owen. Of course, the director of Libertate had a fraction of Alfonso Cuarón's budget, but definitely enough talent and passion to pull out one of the most exciting premieres of this year. I'm going to share some details about the story and characters, so there will be spoilers. If you would prefer to find out what happened by yourself, I'll drop the link in the description. Here we go. Libertate takes us back to December of 1989, a pivotal moment in Romanian history, in the city of Sibiu that becomes a chaotic battleground after revolution culminated in overthrow and execution of dictator Nicolae Ceausescu, marking the end of 42 years of communist rule. One of the strongest points in the plot delivery and beauty of Tudor Gheorghiu's approach to the subject is that there is no clear determination of who is a good or bad guy in the story. Author doesn't hesitate to present the events from the most complicated but relevant position of the average people that involuntarily had been thrown between a rock and a hard place, where the past is a smoking ruin of bloodthirsty tyranny, while the future is a long road of rebuilding their homeland and re-evaluation of past differences. Movie opens with a Sibiu police officer Viorel, who arrives at the station at the moment when an angry crowd outside is getting ready to storm the building. Military is at the scene as well, to supposedly represent the government that ended its existence. While police officers are trying to get in contact with their higher command to coordinate the plan of action without any results, the army establishes a dialogue with the people on the street. Soldiers, however, don't present themselves as operatives of the regime anymore. On the contrary, they approach citizens not from the position of force, but as the fellow comrades, husbands, sons, and neighbors who, due to an unfavorable combination of factors, particularly malevolency of the dictator, found themselves on the wrong side of the story, and when finally released from Ceausescu's influence, gladly willing to side with the freed people of the reviving country. Police officers inside of the department, abandoned by leaders, decide to leave their positions to join the revolution, and the citizens too. The problem is that an angry crowd is not easy to negotiate with, especially when they are convinced that the cops are the bad guys who hold hostages in the building. In addition to the already highly intense situation, there is one more player in the game that remains in the shadows through the whole movie. The loyal ghost of the tyrannical government, Securitate, also known as the secret police. For the officers inside the department that actually decided to unite with the people, things unexpectedly turned from bad to worse in a snap when someone opened fire. From the few single shots here and there, it quickly escalates into violent clashes on the street and inside of the building. Even if the original gunfire is potentially being a provocation, it served the purpose. Other than military personnel, everybody else, protesters, cops in civilian clothes and secret police, all look the same, which take chaos and confusion to an extreme level. People keep killing each other without knowing not only who belongs to which side, but what the participating sides are. One thing that becomes clear right from the beginning of the conflict is that police officer Viorel did not open fire, in fact, didn't even have his weapon with him, didn't cause any harm to protesters, and his true and single objective was to get out of this grind to take care of his own family. During the clashes, he unsuccessfully tries to withdraw from the scene by blending in with the crowd, but gets recognized and nearly executed on the spot. Sick and exhausted, still lucky to be alive, he gets rounded up and put in detention in the empty swimming pool with nearly 150 people, including other policemen, suspected Securitate operatives, and civilians. While prisoners wait to be questioned, sentenced, or released, they try to figure out who provoked the first clash that caused escalation. Viorel participates in the investigation but also searches for the ways to break out from his undeserved captivity and look for his family. I don't want to spoil the rest of the story, so if you want to find out what happened to Viorel and enjoy some exceptional movie making, it's available at darkroom.film.
Aceste mare manifestări populare din București.
Something rivets his gaze.
Aceasta
Shouts surge up. His speech stops. The camera wobbles. A technical disturbance. The broadcast is interrupted.